Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us today. What we think is a very special announcement. It's wonderful to see you all here today. What a great week for Nevada athletics. Kicked off the week Friday, Saturday with a great graduation here on campus. We had 34 student athletes who earned their degrees and moving on to great things in their lives. We honored Coach Dick and Fran Trachuk, who's here today with the Distinguished Nevadan Award. A tremendous honor to recognize his longtime work as certainly as a coach and then as athletic director. And today we get a chance to honor another gentleman who is a longtime, obviously, football coach and athletic director, Chris Ault. In your press releases, you'll see his statistics, all his accomplishments, the wins and losses, and I think what we all recognize and appreciate the most about Coach is his dedication to the student and the student athlete. And that's, as an athletic director, that's what I appreciate the most from what Chris has accomplished. Going back just to 2004, when he came back into the coaching side, the graduation rate for our student athletes here has increased tremendously, going from 56% to 75% under Chris's watch. We had 70 academic all-conference members of the football team. That's impressive. During his 28 seasons as coach, we had 34 players selected at the NFL draft. 46 players earned All-American honors. This is a gentleman who's dedicated to the development of our student athletes, both the student side and the athlete side. And just what a wonderful way for us to honor and recognize one of the all-time great people, not only in our department, in our campus, but certainly in our community. And pleased to welcome President Mark Johnson to make a fabulous announcement today for the University of Nevada. Please welcome President Johnson.
Thanks, Doug. I can tell by the crowd today that this is going to be a real surprise. I do see Joe Crowley in the back, who was chair of the NCAA while he was president. It's good to have you with us, Joe. Well, we are here to provide a lasting honor for a coach and an athletic director and a student athlete who gave us lasting contributions to this community, and this is Chris Ault. He's the winningest coach in the school's history with more than 2-1 in the win column, 233 to 109 on the win side. But what I found interesting in the notes that I was provided is that Chris actually passed Bear Bryant for the number of wins by a coach at his alma mater, and that's pretty good to pass Bear Bryant. I hope you knew that, Chris. No, you didn't. So, see, this is a history lesson today. He won 10 conference championships and actually took us 4 conference changes, which has always been a positive direction, and we're in the Mountain West today, which has been very good for the university and challenging at the same time. Chris has been inducted to 4 Halls of Fame, including the College Football Hall of Fame in 2002, and he is now in the papers all the time for having created the pistol offense, and it's not just here at the University of Nevada, Reno. Unfortunately, Chris shared this secret, and it is now being played on college campuses and the NFL all across the nation. So, because we have had an individual here that's been primarily affiliated with the entire athletic program for the last 40 years, but in specific, the football program, the university wants to make the decision to name the football field the Chris Ault Field at Mackay Stadium. This is the original announcement, but we're going to be making a big display of this fact at our first home game against UC Davis on the is it the 8th, 7th of September, and you'll be getting a lot more details about the nature of the honor, the design of the honor, and the nature of the celebration that will occur on the 7th of September. So mark your calendars. You're going to be here anyway because you're all buying season tickets. So let me at the moment bring up Chris Ault and say thank you for your 40 years and congratulations.
Well, thank you, President Johnson. And I know you had some kind of a committee put together. I know Doug was involved, and I know Brian. And that's special to me. So, you know, it's very humbling, obviously. There's not many speeches written about these kind of things. But I want you to know that I'm very honored, very touched, and certainly humbled. You know, I was blessed at this university in so many different ways. But really the biggest blessing I had was my family. You know, the unconditional support, love, and understanding of what I was trying to do, what I was going to do all those years was never questioned. And that's a blessing that a lot of coaches don't get in this day and age. And it was pretty special. And of course, I've thanked my family profusely, but not enough, obviously. And so one more time, thank you, all of you. Of course, the thank you to me in my mind seems very insignificant because of what they did. And now that she's got all my money, it's all I've got to say. It's interesting, 1976, when Dick Trachok, our distinguished Nevadan of 2013, and a terrific man, hired me, guy at 29 years old, really wasn't sure if I was coming and going, but I knew I was going to be the first one there. One of the things that hit me very hard at that time was obviously you come in, you want to win and all this stuff. We were a Division II program and stadium that sat 5,000. I mean, football was okay here. It was just part of a Saturday afternoon. But the one thing that always haunted me, because I was a player here and loved this university and had a tremendous dedication for it and was in the college business and now a college head coach at this young age, was that our all-time record at the university, you know, in those days now, things have changed, but in those days, when you change jobs, people say, well, that's not a winning school, or they can't win there, or it's a coach's graveyard, all the stuff. And the one thing that stuck in my mind was, because it was my alma mater and I did play here, was that our all-time record was not very good. In fact, after the 75 season, our record was 236 wins against 280 losses and 32 ties. And so, as I came in, there was no vision or mission to move up to Division I AA or major college or any of that stuff. It was to take this Division II program and give our community something to be proud of, but also find a way, if you can, and if you can stay long enough without getting fired, to get that record to the point that this school and this university is a winner in football. And it was a pride factor, not just for me as the coach and the players I had to coach, but for the former players to be able to say, I went to Nevada, it's a winning school. So, 10 consecutive winning seasons later, on October 26, 1985, we beat Northern Arizona University. I think it was 36-10. And that day we went one notch ahead in the all-time win list versus the all-time losing list. And you know what? We've never looked back. What a thrill. And the thrill for me was we built the program here from Division II to 1 AA to major college. We built it from the ground floor up. Thanks to the university and its support, to the community and its involvement, and to the players and the coaches that I had the privilege of coaching. It was special. And it was a oneness feeling, just like we've got to have now. As we built the program, it got better, and all of a sudden we realized we had a chance to do certain things. And as we went through 1AA and hit the grand highlights of major college football, it was exciting because everybody was all in. And it was about not just the team or the coaches or the players. It was about us, the community, and the university. So I would like to think, and Dr. Johnson, I just want to thank you profusely, because when you called me to tell me this, I was floored. It's the last thing on my mind when you called. I thought when you called me you were going to tell me something about NCAA investigations or something going on. Who knows what, you know. He says, hey, I've got some good news for you, and he said it, and I was speechless. In fact, I didn't tell Kathy for about 4 hours after the conversation. I really pulled back, and you start reflecting, and you start thinking about, it was a great, wonderful feeling and a time to think back of what happened. And, you know, the great thing about it, although there may be one name on the field, I'm hoping that will be a direct reflection of a university that supported us, the community that bought into us, and the players and the coaches that gave a great effort, because it wasn't about one person. And I hope that reflection stays with this community and with all the people that need to be involved in Wolfpack football, because it's that important. Not just on the side of winning and losing, but on the side of being and something to be about. As I look back and I think about the things that we did, I have just one regret through my entire career here. And that regret is that I never really took the time to enjoy our fruits of labor. For some reason, my life was always one of those deals to fight boredom, and was always a race against boredom. And I was smart enough to realize that that race was probably very important about the success of our marriage, because you can't throw out something you can't catch. Kathy and I yesterday celebrated our 47th year of marriage. And I'll tell you, it's pretty special when you look at your kids and your grandkids and you see things that are happening. Then you see an honor and an opportunity like this at a place that you've invested your life in and you love so much. You'll do whatever you can do to help them. That's pretty doggone special. So as we look forward to the future of this program, I want to say this to Brian, that, you know, the great thing that we've got going for us is the program's built. You don't have to build it, Brian. You've got to sustain it and make it better, and you will. And with Doug aboard and the forward progress and the opportunity these guys are bringing to our community, we have to take advantage of it. Because enthusiasm can drive people. It can drive programs. And you know what? I couldn't do it by myself, and neither can they. We got to be one, and we've got to be stronger than we ever have been before, because we are in a situation now in the Mountain West Conference that is challenging. It's a great opportunity for our community and university. And whatever I can do to help, I'm there. So on behalf of Kathy and I, again, Dr. Johnson, I'm honored. I don't know if there's words good enough, credible enough. I'm humbled, and certainly as I look inward and start thinking back at all the things, I'm just very proud of all the people that I was associated with at this university, because so many of you in this room helped build it, were part of it, and still remain that way. And that's a great thrill for me to see you here. And as you look back and I talk to our players and I see people in the community, there was one clear understanding with our university and our community and our teams. And that was they completely understood that without challenge, there will be no achievement. We were challenged, and we were fortunate to meet it. And we met it because everybody was together. Wolfpack football is special. The silver and blue is special. You can't buy tradition. You can't own it. It's something that grows, gets bigger and stronger. And all of us, hopefully, have that obligation and responsibility to make sure that happens. There's some exciting things happening. I know they're going to keep it going. Again, Doctor, I don't know what word to say any more than not only am I honored, but I think it's a privilege to just be thought of. And the Chris Ault legacy is more about who was involved with me, who helped me get there, and all the great things that I take away from a university that I love. Thank you very much.